What's going on, masculine family? Reacting to Coach Lee. Let's get to it.
Talk to you about what happens when you stop chasing your ex. So the
Oh, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this at 1.25. That's not 1.25. I'm going to put this at 1.25 the speed because Coach Lee speaks pretty slow compared to some other people. That's okay. So let's just speed this up and keep it moving.
first thing that happens when you stop chasing is they stop running. And I know if you've seen a lot of my other videos that I do talk about this, I'm going to get into some things that are different.
That's actually a very, that's fire. So if you think about it, when dudes chase, right? And again, my channel is focused on men. So women, if you're watching, it works the same way. Just don't chase. But look, when you chase that person, you're not respecting them. You're not respecting their space. You're not respecting their wishes. So as you keep chasing, they're going to keep doing this. But as you pull back, right? It's like that string thing that I think Chris Campbell talked about. There's going to be tension, and then they're going to change their focus back onto you, and that will at least give you a chance, especially if you've been working on yourself. You're working on your business. You've been working on your body. You've been changing your diet up, whatever it is that you need to work on. You've been doing that, and then when they call you and text you, then you can say, you can go on a date and they can discover these things about you again and start having positive experiences. Most of the time when people break up, they're just having too many negative experiences and expectations and all this shit, and they just need to have some space.
About what happens when you stop chasing. But this is the most important. Your ex will stop running. And the simple reason is because there's no need to get further away from you because you are not trying to pull them back. And so, whereas the damage that can be done when you refuse to accept the breakup and your ex feels forced or that you're manipulating them or that they can't be around you because of the drama, pain that they have to see you going through, and just those awkward things that nobody likes to experience and that they don't want to see because they don't want to hurt you. This is not their goal. And so they will avoid having to see it. That's just how humans are. So
That's true. I've seen that. I've experienced that personally, but every time you show up and you keep chasing, they're going to go, why won't you leave me alone? I've been telling you to leave me alone. I've been telling you that I need space or whatever. And now every single time they see your fucking face, they're going to go, now, and they're going to be reminded of how hurt you are. And I understand, fellas, because you're going to go, well, what about me? Right? I get it. But now's not the time. Okay. Now is not the time for you to be like, what about me? Because they are the ones that have the power because they are leaving you. The time to bring that shit up is later on. Again, they tend to hurt later if you reject them and you like don't want them later. And I'll talk about that later on in the video, probably near the end. So don't do it now because I know you're hurt and I know you want them to react and care about you, but now's not the time. Okay. You have to go back to your default position. I made a video about that, which is focusing on your finances, your body, making like when I talk about finances, make extra money, increase your income, side hustles, blogs, YouTube, whatever it is you want to work on. Your body, your diet, getting healthier and all that stuff. As I burp a little, all that shit. Okay. Social circle, make sure social circle. I've been making a lot of videos today, guys. I'm sorry. Social circle. And then going into your education a little bit more and understanding what women are looking for. What are what are women looking for? What are women responding to? Okay. That kind of shit. So that's what you guys want to be doing when somebody breaks up with you, not telling them, not trying to get them to react to how you're feeling and listen to how you're feeling. I know that you want to say it to them. I know you want them to feel like you do, but that was not the time.
Because they don't want to hurt you. This is not their goal. And so they will avoid having to see it. That's just how humans are. So all of those things will make them take themselves further away from you. They will think of you, and sometimes as crazy. They'll think of you as not listening. They'll think of you as refusing to allow them this thing they want because you don't want it.
Again, like I said earlier, they feel disrespected. You're not respecting their space. You're not respecting their time.
And those things will make them feel further away from you, as though the breakup is becoming a much more significant separation than it should be. Now, a breakup is a separation, but when you don't push them further away, that canyon or that gulf between the two of you is smaller. And that's good. That gives you better odds than if they feel like they can't be around you and they can't even get to that point where they can think about you positively because they're having such negative experiences whenever they're around you.
Remember I said that. Sorry, remember he said that, but I said that earlier before he just said it now. Consistent negativity will breed breakups in space and distance. And it's going to, what masculine men do is they have their mission, right? Which creates scarcity. When you have a mission, you're not always going to be available to your woman. Okay. So when you have your mission going on, you're hard to get hold of. You're hard to get around. So maybe you're only available 2 days a week, 1 day a week. That creates scarcity. So people are going to value your time, especially if the woman that you're dealing with is normal, not fucked up in the head. Okay. Then on top of that, you have, because they miss you so much, they're not going to be bringing up negative shit, especially if they're a good person. So you're going to have more positive experiences with each other. The more positive experiences you guys have with each other, that's what creates that bond. Of course, having the same interests and stuff. But if they are around other negative people, right? Again, if they're normal, they're going to want to be around positive people more often, especially in a lover. So that's what you need to be. So if you are talking about negative shit all the time and you're acting negative, cut that shit out immediately. There is zero reason why you need to be talking about negative shit to the person that you're trying to have a sexual relationship with. They should be looking to you as a place of, peace, love, serenity, whatever you want to call it, and not negativity and just negative energy. You want to be a beacon of positive energy, which means as an individual, you need to be focused on your mission and purpose that you're creating, and then you're going to have good energy. Your finances will be better, your body will be better, your mind will be better, your sleep will be better. You're going to be in a better mood, right? I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah. So let's keep going.
So if you don't chase them, they don't feel the need to go further away. Now the capacity is there, but as long as you don't chase, you're not making it happen. And so the closer they are to you, the less ground that they have to cover to actually be in a place where they reconsider the breakup, which is really what you want if you want to get your ex back. Before I get to the second thing that happens when you stop chasing your ex, take a quick second and subscribe to this channel so you can be notified when I have more videos like this. The second thing that happens when you stop chasing your ex is they become curious. And I talk about this in my video, Stages Your Ex Goes Through During No Contact, but I'm going to mention some other things about it here that I don't mention there. So the first thing is when your ex becomes curious, it changes their direction of focus from away from you to a future without you to this great beyond from the relationship that they think that they want and need and that awaits them.
Curiosity is your best friend. This is why chasing doesn't work. When you chase, they know exactly how you feel. They know what you're thinking. So they have nothing to worry about. You want them to be in a state of anxiety in a way. What is he doing? What is he up to? Why hasn't he reached out to me? Because that's what they're expecting. See, your relationship has been a routine, and they are going to want to hear from you still and know that you're still interested, even though they broke up with you. Fucked up, I know, but that's the way it is. So, again, be cool. Now is not the time to whine and complain. You have to go back to the drawing board individually and start working on yourself. And that will create the curiosity he's talking about. I'm sure he's going to go into it more too.
Great beyond from the relationship that they think that they want and need and that awaits them. And instead, it points the attention back at you. And so if you're wondering about, as many of you state in my comments here on YouTube, you say that you're afraid your ex will forget about you during no contact. Well, if you want to give yourself the best chance of that not happening to where your ex does not forget about you, get them curious about you, because that's when their focus is actually on you much more than it would be if they were just trying to get away from you.
And that's when no contact works the best, by the way. So I have many students that are doing that right now. They're in that phase right now where they're going through no contact and they're focused on getting their ex back, I guess. But I tell them to not focus on that or the relationship. I tell them to focus on improving, and the mere act of not chasing is going to help you. It's going to help get them to focus on you. And then when they do text you, and sometimes they try to breadcrumb you, so you have to handle that right, then you have a solid chance to rekindle things.
And if you were lowering your own attraction level by chasing them and pushing them away from you. So curiosity is very important. And it's within the stage that you can actually create this preoccupation, because One of the things about celebrities, people that we maybe watch on YouTube, and we want to know more about them, it's that you don't know much about them. You think you do because you see them. You see them on TV, you see them in magazines, you see them in pictures, but you really don't know that much about their personal life and what's going on with them. And so it creates this mystery and this magic and this preoccupation a lot of times with what is it like in one of their days? What do they like to do? Just things like that. And those details will begin to resurface with your ex simply because now you've created this entire new persona for yourself because you're not chasing, and they begin to see you differently than.
So that's why mission and purpose is important. Again, scarcity is, it creates value. Scarcity creates value. When you're hard to get a hold of, so you're in no contact, you're not reaching out to them, you're not reaching out to her, that alone is going to create some value because you are not being needy or chasing or begging and pleading, right? That helps with your strength and how they perceive you and your traction level. But when you're focused on your mission and your purpose, you're just simply not available. And then that creates mystery because you're not available, you're not around, they don't know what you're thinking or doing, just like he's talking about with the whole celebrity thing. So focus on your mission. I can't reinforce that enough.
And see this part of you. They don't know what it's like to be you not chasing them. Does that mean that you're not interested? And they begin to think of you in a different lens because the day they broke up with you, your attraction plummeted. It had already been suffering, but when they break up with you, that very act lowers you because they are the one who is telling you, I don't want to be with you, which is rejection.
Right.
They are putting themselves in the position of being more attractive than you. And when they do that, your attraction falls even more. But when they have to come face to face with this concept now that they're curious about, why aren't you chasing? It's almost a rejection. So it begins to erode their feelings of superiority when it comes to attractiveness. And it begins to raise yours up some because now you're the source of that curiosity. And curiosity, as I've said in especially some of my older videos, is a precursor to attraction. When you become curious about someone, what is it that makes them tick? What are they interested in?
And attraction is where everything begins. So I tell guys when they're going through a breakup to focus on your attraction skills and understanding what that even means, right? You know, obviously there's the physical stuff, dressing well, looking well, having a good haircut, beard trimmed, or if do you have a beard, make sure it looks good and whatever. There's that, but also how you act, right? If you act like a goofball, that's not attractive, right? Or if do you act cool, calm, and collected, you know? These are things, and again, your personality, not everybody's going to be the fucking same. You know, I don't want to try to create robots here that are all similar or the same. You obviously have your personality. So if you're funny, don't shy away from that. That's okay. But again, if you're acting dumb and not attractive, right? And these are going to be in books, then and you check the description box below for that. And that way you can go, okay, this is what I need to cut out, and this is what I need to double down on. So attraction skills. So again, how are you interacting? Again, really, and to make this a lot simpler, you just have to focus on having a great time. So and also remember what the purpose of dating is. Don't let this go over your head. The purpose of dating is, and especially in the beginning, is to find out if the person that you are seeing is compatible with you. And don't assume that every relationship you're going to get into is going to be the end, right? Get married, have kids, because there's going to be so many people that you meet that are going to be that they're going to vibe with you so much better. So, and again, as you get to know people and you fall in love, red flags tend to get ignored a lot more. Beauty makes men ignore red flags too. So just don't be that. Okay. And focus on understanding what is it that men are looking for? What is it that women are looking for? Focus on that. If you're a woman watching this too. So men, you know, we're all looking for that feminine woman that wants to help, that supports us, but you know, we want them to be independent. Like, I don't mind if my woman's independent from me or what. I don't need her to rely on me. And I don't even want that. That's needy behavior. But I'm also looking for a feminine woman that is the opposite of my masculine energy. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I want, and that's what I have, right? So I've been with my woman for a long time, and that's what keeps us together, is that polarity, that just focus on being there for each other and supporting each other no matter what, and not being jealous or angry or needy or you know, we're focused on having a good time. And that's what I want to focus on. So when I focus on having, my business and all that, I try to focus on having a great time as an individual person. And right now it's building time, right? Later on in life, I'm not even that much longer from now, I'm going to be focused on having a lot more fun. So again, and I do that now, but again, it's what is your focus as a man, as an individual? Are you angry all the time? Are you happy? So again, the Sedona method is really important for that. So you want to be reading that book and understanding ag, flap, and cap. Apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, and pride is what ag flap stands for. And that's a red color to keep it simple. People that are in the red, that are full of fear, grief, anger, apathy, lust, and pride, they're going to be, repulsive, and they're going to repel. They're going to be talking and acting negative. But when you're in cap, courage, acceptance, and peace, which is blue, to be simple, accepting what comes, accepting people that instead of trying to change people, you just accept what comes.
Who are they? That's when the path is opened to feeling attraction for them, to being attracted to them. And so you certainly want that. So don't chase, and your ex can become curious. As a matter of fact, it happens more times than not. The odds are very good your ex will become curious about you. Before I get to number 3 on what happens when you don't chase your ex, take a look at the link in the description below to get more information on my emergency breakup kit. You can get more information at myexbackcoach.com about my emergency breakup kit, and it's a guide to help you get your ex back. So take a look. The third thing that can happen when you stop chasing your ex is that it changes the psychological pressure. And what I mean by that is an extension of what I talked about in the previous point, and that is when your ex's attention stops being placed on how they can escape you, and instead it turns to wondering about not just you, but in this case, did they make the right decision? Because if you really want to put doubt in your ex's mind about the breakup, you raise your own attractiveness and you demonstrate to them that maybe they were wrong about you and you were more attractive than they thought. Now, I'm not saying your ex is sitting there making a scale of 1 to 10 and deciding that you're really a 6 when they thought you were an 8 and therefore they should break up with you. That's not how it works. It's more of a gut feeling. It's inside of them. It's not something they can define. And so when they think that they are not attracted to you, they just don't feel it anymore because it's faded. Maybe there's been some disagreements. They become bored, which is an immature thing to become bored in a relationship, but it happens to all of us. And it's where the two people in the relationship need to put some more work into it. It's not this video, but I'll talk about that in other videos. But when your ex begins to think that you are more attractive than they thought because they're feeling that attraction go up, they're beginning to feel some of that old attraction, at least the sparks of it. Not enough to just jump back in with you yet, but at least enough to where they're thinking about it. And their psychological point of pressure changes to where now it's, am I sure I made the right decision? Because now it's more important to them because maybe what they lost is actually higher value than they thought before. So it's crucial that you don't chase and that you allow them to reconsider their position on all of this. And that's when the pressure really begins to grow, simply because they don't know what's going on with you. And so if they don't decide quickly, or at least if the possibility is there.
That's what I did. That's what I did in the past. Every single time I got dumped, I said, okay, there's the door. And I just assumed that we were never going to get back together. And then a little time would go by, right? And I'd hear from them. And it was because I didn't chase. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't chase. I simply didn't chase. Okay. I didn't chase them. I didn't pursue them. I didn't do anything I didn't give them any information. Okay. And when I didn't give them information, well, things worked out. So when the tide turns is when they will have a moment, or several moments, I guess, where they're going to go, hey, man, I wonder what he's up to or she's up to. Right. And when that hits them enough and you've been away and you've been working on yourself, especially if you've been posting on Instagram and you're organically did that before, and they see you're growing and you're out with your friends, don't see, again, a woman's going to be able to see if you're trying to fake shit. So taking pictures with girls and shit like that, that might work on low quality, low value women. Right. But, and again, a woman's going to see through that easily. Okay. So that's why you don't want to just fake that shit. You want to just, just work on yourself. But because I see a lot of guys that have come into my coaching have been like, hey man, like, what if I do this? Will it make her come around? And you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And that's why I'm saying that it can work. But if you're doing it for the wrong reason, trying to make her jealous, sometimes that can just push a person further away. So you have to be careful.
That they could want you back, that they could think this was a mistake, this breakup, and that they want to be back together with you, but now you don't want to get back together with them. You're too far gone. You've quote moved on,
Which is what
or
I
with
did.
someone else. It could really harm them. They could actually realize that they could have tremendously hurt themselves in their future, and so they actually begin to move into that role of being the one who was dumped, at least in terms of how it feels. So very important. You do not chase your ex. Number 4 is the next progression on the list, and that is they reassign your position. So, for example, like I mentioned in the previous point, if you were a 6, now you're an 8 again, or at least 7. So that movement is something that impacts them. But also, they begin to reassign their own position in that if they thought that they were significantly more attractive than you just before the breakup or at the breakup, now they are reconsidering that. And so they begin to feel that they are maybe a little bit less attractive. And so it's quite the swing there. It can be a multiple point swing. Whereas if you were a 6 and now they think of you as an 8 and they thought of themselves as a 9 and now they think of themselves as an 8 or a 7.5, now you two are closer to being equal, which is what you want. Or they even see themselves as a little bit less attractive or fear that they are a little bit less attractive. And so this all plays into how they look at you, how they feel about you, even though they are not thinking in terms of numbers and math and all that stuff. I'm just trying to simplify it. Attraction is mostly a feeling, and it's difficult to put into words. People describe it as a connection, which suggests electricity. You get the connection. Well, what's connecting? Electric currents. And so there's something mysterious about attraction. And when people begin to feel this attractiveness, and especially as it grows, it becomes something that's very difficult for them to resist. So if you talk about wanting to reattract your ex, wanting them to contact you, this is how you do it. It's amazing that sometimes doing nothing is so powerful. And in this case, that's what you're doing. You're not trying to get them back. You're
See, and that's what some guys really don't understand. The power of doing nothing, the power of walking away, the power of keeping to yourself is an action. It is a very powerful action. So, and a lot of guys, it goes through over their head because they're like, I have to do something. I need to do something. Corey Wayne calls it the illusion of action. Okay. You don't always need to do something. Most of the time, doing nothing and pulling away and becoming a ghost is going to benefit you and help you. So do that.
giving them the breakup. You are not trying to pull them back to you, which actually results in pushing them away. And instead, you are allowing them to get to the stage where they actually question their own attractiveness and see yours as higher than they thought. Before I get to my last point, take a quick second and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when I have more videos like this. The 5th thing that happens when you don't chase your ex is that your ex fears losing you. It's a culmination of all the things I've been talking about. Now they don't have the control anymore, whereas before they had the control, they were making the decision and you were at their mercy. But now they fear if they made the wrong decision, they are at your mercy. So they have fear of loss, plain and simple, which is what has to be there in order for you to turn the tables and get them back. And so by not chasing, you can actually get to the point where your ex is now the one who's moving towards you and trying to pull you back to them, whereas before it was the opposite. And it can be a beautiful thing if you want your ex back. This has been Coach Lee. As always, thank you for watching. This is Coach Lee.
So, in turn, right, wrapping up, summary. Don't chase. Don't chase. Focus on yourself. This just keeps coming back full circle to the same advice I've been giving over the years, which is focus on you, focus on growing you, focus on that. When somebody wants to leave you, let them go. Let them leave. Let them go. Focus on your emotions. Sedona method is excellent for that. Letting go, David Hawkins, excellent for that. It teaches you about your emotions, why you're dealing with fear, apathy, grief, lust, anger, pride, right? CAP, courage, acceptance, and peace. This is where you want to be most of the time. When you are in courage, acceptance, and peace, that is your natural state, actually. That's what you're supposed to be. And not now with our fear-driven society, it's hit and miss. But we want, as I think naturally as humans, we want to be better. Most people, anyway. Some people are fucked up. So overcoming that and learning about that is important. And then, of course, learn about your attraction skills, female nature, male nature. If you're a woman watching this, learn about what guys want. What do guys want? And guys are very simple. Okay. Women, what do women want? Okay. And of course, without saying, work on your mission. That is what I do every day. I'm in a very good, healthy relationship. And it's important for you to remain fucking focused as a man. Keep providing and protecting and increasing your net worth and becoming friends with powerful people. Those are my goals, right? Now, I'm not doing every piece of that every single day, but I'm hustling. Okay. And you're always going to be proud of yourself for doing it. So that's it for this video, guys. Don't chase, don't pursue, give them space, walk away. Done.